Hey, how's it going, y'all? I am here to answer some questions. A question specifically about marriage. My name's Jeff, and my intent here is to talk about things from a Christian worldview. And let me first tell you why marriage. I was, just scrolling around on the Googles the other day, and in the search bar, why did? And you know what popped up? Why did I get married? Twice. Twice it popped up. Why did I get married? And so there I am thinking, wow, people are struggling with this. And so I want to help. Let me help however I can. Why did we get married? And what do we do with the marriage that may be a little rough? And I'm no marriage expert. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. But I know the Bible a little bit. I've been married for 16 years now. And well, in April it will be 16 years, which is apparently twice as long as the average marriage in the United States. So, yeah. Um, but let me answer this question that I put on that icon there of why did I get married? Why did I get married? I got married because, well, okay, Rebecca, honestly, I loved her. I did. And I really enjoyed being with her. And, okay, here's the thing. Like, I felt more myself when I was with her. Now, that can, I hear people talk about things of like, oh, they complete me. They complete me. That's cheesy nonsense, okay? Cheesy nonsense. I feel more myself with Rebecca, but she does not complete me. Never has, never will. She can't, nor can I complete her. You know why? Because the only way for us to be complete is through Jesus. That's it. We were made to be with God, and that is the only way that we are going to be made complete is with God. But that is why I married Rebecca. I felt more myself, and I didn't want to live life without her. And at the time, I had absolutely nothing, and she had nothing, and we still don't have much, but we got more. And it was, married for love. And so far, it's worked out. Like I said, this April will be 16 years, and I want to. What I'm going to do. What I'm going to do. In my experience as a pastor and everything, have put together just 5 keys, as what I call them, I guess, 5 keys for marriage. I share this whenever I do premarital counseling, and I want to talk about those with you because I think they're really important, but I want to also take a bit more time to do that. And so this video, I'm going to talk about marriage and just why it's important, some biblical things about marriage, some stuff that I've just come to realize recently, just within the past week, that I think is awesome, and I want to share with you. But then I'm going to put some videos together over the next few weeks of those 5 keys. They're no secret, okay? So let me just give them to you real quickly here, and we'll move on. 1 is love. Love, laying down your life for somebody else, not gushy feelings, okay? 2 is communication, actually talking about what's going on, not just, you made me mad. Why are you mad about that? What's the real issue? 3rd, forgiveness, because man, tell you what, we all mess up and we all need forgiveness. 4th is you do what works for you, right? I mean, there's certain bounds within marriage, but certain things, aspects, some people look at others and, well, do we need to be like that? Do we need to? No, you just do what works for you, right? And then 5th, remember the day you got married and how much you love that person and how much you wanted to be with them, how excited you were to see your wife walking, or your bride at that time, walking up the aisle, or reverse, right? To see your groom up there standing with the pastor and with his groomsmen, and just like how excited you were for that moment. And remember to enjoy each other through all of life's ups and downs. Those are the 5 keys. I'm going to get more into all of that stuff at a different time. Right now, I want to share with you some things that I think are really awesome about marriage. Here's part of it is that the marriage is under attack. Man, I don't know how else to put it. Marriage is under attack. And it has been for a really long time. And just this past week, I was talking with some folks about different things. It's like, why? Why marriage under attack? Like, why would marriage be under attack? And then got to realizing that like marriage was one of the first things that God gave to us. Have you ever thought about that? One of the first things that God gave to us. Here it is, Genesis chapter 2. Genesis 2. Okay? Which kind of, re-goes over. Yeah, there you go. Rehashes the creation story and tells us a little bit more about this man and woman. Genesis chapter 2, verse 20. The man gave names to all the livestock, to the birds of the sky, to every wild animal, but for the man no helper was found corresponding to him. No helper was found corresponding to him. What does that mean? Of all the things that were created, he's like, there's nothing that was of him, right? He saw all these other things, but there was no helper found of him. I think that's important. We'll get to that in just a second. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to come over the man, and he slept. God took one of his ribs and closed the flesh at that place. Then the Lord God made the rib he had taken from the man into a woman and brought her to the man. And the man said, this one at last is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. This one will be called woman, for she was taken from man. Okay, so part of this story, the important thing to get from this is how connected we are. Okay, back in chapter 1, where God said, let us make man in our image. It says, this is chapter 1, verse 27, he created them male and female, right? So God created men and women in his image. But here we get this understanding of how important it is to have a good spouse and the relationship that we are supposed to have together as husband and wife. And that is that we are complementary, right? Not that one is more important than the other. Not that we all have different things that we're good at and different things that we can do. Women, kind of have generally things that they're good at. Men kind of have things generally that they're good at. And that doesn't mean that they're not equal. That means that they need each other all the more, right? It makes each person then that much more valuable. Like a mother cannot replace a father, and a father cannot replace a mother. It just doesn't work. But I know there's circumstances where, that's got to be in a death or military or whatever else sort of thing. I'm not coming down on any of that. I'm just saying how important it is for a man and a woman being together. It's amazing. So here, God shows us that, like, okay, Adam, even with all these other things out there, you still need a helper, right? Still need a helper, still need somebody. And so then he forms Eve from the rib. And so that's right, like, this is my bone, my flesh. Okay, so a couple of years ago, my kids got a hoverboard. And I decided to ride it. I was like, I'm going to do this thing. And really because I haven't accepted that I'm getting older yet. But just put it down on the record. I rode the thing. Okay, I went down the drive, and it's a long drive. I went down the drive, I turned, I came back up. The problem was the dismount, all right? And so I took one foot off, and the other foot just there, just like that. And I went flying back. I put my hand back, this right arm, I put it back to catch myself, and it hurt, and I fractured my radial head. I didn't even know what a radial head was, but it fractured. It's right on top of the elbow there. See, like right there, there's the radial head. I fractured it. It hurt. Plus, I hyperextended my elbow. So that too, I took care of it, right? Had it in a sling for a couple of days. I was careful what I did and what I didn't do, and nursing this thing back to health. And I was very careful with it, right? Well, because it's bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. I'm going to care for this thing. I need my right hand. I'm right-handed, so it's important. It's important. And so that's like the same relationship that we should have with our spouse, with our husband or our wife, that we are together, that somehow this is the mystery, right? That God takes two and he makes one, and now they are together. That's just what? How in the world? But it does. That's how we're supposed to care for one another. We are in this together. When you fail, I fail. When I fail, you fail. And whenever you rise, I rise. And when I rise, you rise. Like, we are in this thing together. And isn't that a wonderful, wonderful gift? That you don't have to be alone. Not only do you have God to help you and be with you spiritually and all that stuff, but just physically, you have somebody to go through life together. That's a wonderful, wonderful gift. And so here's the thing. God gave this to us. Like, first thing, that is what he gave to us. Marriage. Wow. Okay. But marriage isn't easy, right? If you're married, you know that. If you're not married, now you know. It's not easy. It's not easy because you are taking two people and you're putting them together as one. You've taken each of your faults and failures, and now you've multiplied them, putting them together, right? That's what you've done. You haven't fixed or solved anything. You've made things more complicated. But if you will work through that, absolutely 100% worth it. First thing, one of the first things God gives to us, marriage. Now check this out. One of the last things that happens, I'm talking like apocalypse and all that stuff, devil and hell and death, they're thrown into the lake of fire, right? All that business, judgment day and all that stuff. New creation, new Jerusalem, new earth. What happens? A marriage. So one of the first things and one of the last things, marriage. And so here we are in Revelation chapter 21. So we looked at Genesis, very first book. Now we're looking at Revelation, very last book. And verse 9 says, "Come, I will show you the bride, the wife of the Lamb." He then carried me away in the Spirit to a great high mountain and showed me the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, arrayed in God's glory. So we know then, right? This is the city. This is New Jerusalem, which is us, which is the church. That we are the bride of Christ, of Jesus. It says the bride of the Lamb. That is Jesus, right? The Lamb that was slain. And so one of the first things God gives to us, marriage. One of the last things that happens, marriage. We are married to Christ. So I don't understand fully why marriage is this one of these foundational things. I know it's something we all desire, most of us desire, and it's a great thing, and it's there just like at the core. People want to get married, right? I mean, I was 25 at the time when we actually got married. And I say actually because, we were engaged for 6, 8 months, something like that. So, go, whatever. I was married at 25. I was ready to get married. Thought I was ready to get married. I was ready. And this is just a desire that people have, and it is interesting to me, very interesting. This is something that God has given to us, and it's at the core. It's at the foundation of who we are, and it's at the foundation of our society. And so it's one of those things that gets attacked on the regular, and by those evil forces. Let's go back to the Garden of Eden. You have the serpent talking to Eve. This is separate from Adam, right? Like already separating them, setting them against one another. And now, there's people in our society talking about marriage. Well, why ever get married? And, just live with people and whatever else sort of thing. You have organizations out there. I'm just going to name it. Black Lives Matter organization. They explicitly said they want to dismantle that family unit. Why? Why? This is evil stuff that's out there, right? And so since I named that, let's just name them all. There's the whole homosexuality and trans thing and all this stuff. It goes against and it attacks this family system and this family unit. And please, if you don't know me and you don't understand, I love everyone. I love you and I want you to know the truth. But we can come together and say, I don't agree, right? Just like if you're upset about those things that I just said, then you don't agree with me. Hey, all right, great. I'm telling you, there is an attack on our marriages, and it shows with the divorce rate. Average marriage in America, 8.2 years. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. And so I want to encourage you. If you're looking around and you're like, why did I get married? This is trouble. I don't know how to get out of this thing, when we got married, maybe it was great, and then things were okay. I want to encourage you. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. And the way that we come together, the way that we conquer anything is through the power of God, through the power of Christ, through His Holy Spirit that is in us. So more than saying like, I need to fix this or you need to fix that, mostly it's you need to fix or you need more than that is just go to God. Go to God and rely on Him. He gave us marriage. He wants us to have good, healthy, long life marriages. This is a gift from Him. And if we go to Him and if we seek after Him, He will help us. He will help us through all of this. And so, I'll be putting together talking about those 5 keys: love, communication, forgiveness, do what works for you, and enjoy one another. I'll go into much more detail on those. Some will be a little bit longer than others just because that's the way it goes. But until then, I love you. And if you're struggling, the struggle is real. I get it. I know. And trust in God. Rely on Him and continue to work these things out. Don't allow the enemy to be victorious in this, because greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. All right, so until next time, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine upon you. The Lord be gracious to you, lift up His countenance upon you, and give you peace.